Welcome to Daily Scripture Reading. I do not own the rights to this music. 2 Kings chapter 16. This is the Amplified Version. Ahaz reigns over Judah. In the 17th year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, king of Judah, became king. Ahaz was 20 years old when he became king, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. He did not do what was right in the sight of the Lord his God, as his father ancestor David had done. Instead, he walked in the way of the idolatrous kings of Israel, and even made his son pass through the fire as a human sacrifice, in accordance with the repulsive and idolatrous practices of the pagan nations, whom the Lord drove out before the Israelites. He also sacrificed and burned incense on the high places, and on the hills, and under every green tree. Then Rezin, the king of Aram, Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, came up to Jerusalem to wage war. They besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome and conquer him. At that time, Rezin, king of Aram, recovered Elath and Edom for Aram, and drove the Jews away from it. The Arameans came to Elath and live there to this day. Ahaz seeks help of Assyria. So Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am your servant and son. Come up and rescue me from the hand of the kings of Aram and of Israel, who are rising up against me. And Ahaz took the silver and the gold that was found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king's house, and sent a gift to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria listened to him, and he went up against Damascus and captured it, and carried its people away into exile to Kir, and put Rezin, king of Aram, to death. Damascus falls. Now King Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, the king of Assyria, and saw the pagan altar which was at Damascus. Then King Ahaz sent a model of the altar to Urijah, the priest, along with a detailed pattern for all its construction. So Urijah the priest built an altar in accordance with everything that King Ahaz had sent from Damascus. That is how Urijah the priest made it before King Ahaz returned from Damascus. When the king came from Damascus, he saw the altar. Then the king approached the altar and offered sacrifices on it, and burned his burnt offering and his grain offering, and poured out his drink offering, and sprinkled the blood of his peace offerings on the altar. He brought the bronze altar, which was before the Lord, from the front of the house temple, from between the new altar and the house of the Lord, and put it on the north side of the new altar. Then King Ahaz commanded Urijah the priest, saying, Upon the great new altar, burn the morning burnt offering, and the evening grain offering, and the king's burnt offering and his grain offering, with the burnt offering of all the people of the land, and their grain offering, and their drink offerings, and sprinkle on the new altar all the blood of the burnt offering, and all the blood of the sacrifice. But the old bronze altar shall be kept for me, to use to examine the sacrifices. Urijah the priest acted in accordance with everything that King Ahaz commanded. Then King Ahaz cut away the frames of the basin stands in the temple, and removed the basin from each of them. And he took down the large sea from the bronze oxen which were under it, and put it on a plastered stone floor. He removed from the house of the Lord the covered way for the Sabbath, which they had built in the house, and the outer entrance of the king, because of the king of Assyria, who might confiscate them. Hezekiah reigns over Judah. Now the rest of the acts of Ahaz, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? So Ahaz slept with his fathers in death, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, and his son Hezekiah became king in his place. The end. God bless you and thank you for joining me today.